Howdy folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn, and today I have another Armored Warfare replay for you. Today is PV Operation Hardcore. The mission is Anvil. And right now we're featuring myself in the Shadow RST-V and Rexall with the Challenger 2 ATDU. Take a quick moment here, show you the vehicle off a little bit before I start giving some history and developmental notes on this vehicle. It was only ever a prototype. The vehicle features a really cool suspension, Javelin missile launcher, which has its downfalls since it's only a single Javelin, and high camouflage with excellent spotting. Of course, it has no armor protection whatsoever. I've actually already lost 2 crewmen in this vehicle in one of my other replays. Its armor protection is pretty pathetic. But I'll hold off. I'm going to hold off here a little bit until the woman is done rambling with the mission introduction. Dropped a really cool suspension here.
Please take back control of the port
And I just raised the really cool suspension.
There are also SAMs in the area. Clearing out those missiles will allow special forces to land on the
here.
ship.
Lower the suspension, cam some bush, and try and get some spots.
So the PLM is a surprise for
And
us.
fire some Javelin missiles whenever I
Find
can.
cover and fight your way out of there.
Identify.
Good, but there are more SAMs out there, and we can't send special forces in until they are all cleared.
Target locked on. Identify.
Hostile PC.
And take note of how close that K-21 was without spotting me.
Target locked on.
Yeah, that shows you the camo. Okay, let's dive on in here. The Shadow Reconnaissance Surveillance Targeting Vehicle, or RST-V, was a vehicle designed to challenge the Humvee. The Shadow would begin testing in November 16th, 2004 by the Office of Naval Research and Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA.
Target locked on.
The new vehicle was a hybrid electric design. The Shadow was designed with reconnaissance in mind. The Shadow used a 2.5-liter DI-4V Detroit diesel engine that charged a lithium-ion battery pack. From there, the batteries would power 4 wheel hubs. Each wheel hub had a 50-kilowatt magnetic electric motor. The system can run up to 20 miles without being charged by the diesel engine. Or so that was claimed at the time. The Shadow also produces a low thermal and acoustic signature, allowing for very quiet and stealthy running. The vehicle was constructed with an aluminum body, and an optional armor package would be produced to provide protection against small arms. The vehicle actually only has 5 millimeters of aluminum armor plating. It's not even enough to protect it from most small arms. Actually, 9 millimeter could probably penetrate this vehicle. 4 vehicles were built and tested. The test would last a few years, and the test would include more than 7,000 miles of field testing, including 2 1,000-mile endurance test runs. The Marine Corps also set up a 2-week joint service object experiment of the Shadow at the Army Yuma Proving Grounds in Yuma, Arizona. The vehicle successfully completed cargo landing and silent operations, live fire, and severe off-road tests. The vehicle would also set a record on the rock ledge course at Yuma with a time of 13 minutes 50 seconds. The previous record was at 32 minutes.
Special forces are inbound and are retaking the
The Shadow matched or exceeded the capabilities of the Humvee. The Shadow could mount all the same weapon systems as the Humvee, that being the M240 machine gun, the M2 HB, the tow missile system, as well as the M134 7.62 millimeter machine gun. And it is said that it could also mount the tow system. I don't believe the tow system can be mounted on the Humvee yet, but I could be wrong. There was also a design process being made to equip this vehicle with a mortar. Yeah, that was a dumb move, but interesting nonetheless. Allegedly, one or more Shadow prototypes were shipped to Iraq for additional testing in 2006. It seems like the project, however, has been defunded since then. However, since the project's end, a total of 4 prototypes would be produced in all. So they only ever built the 4 prototypes they had tested. There's actually a lot more deeper notation than that. That's just to give you a general rough developmental history of the Shadow. I actually really couldn't get into this verbatim, because actually this vehicle's testing actually has some very interesting and surprisingly open records. I would think a vehicle like this would still be kept very secretive, but it's actually got a well fleshed out record of what they did to it for trials. They even trialed loading this onto various helicopters, such as the Chinook and the V-22, which is actually why the suspension can lower. What happens is the suspension lowers, and the wheels actually fold up towards the vehicle. So it also makes the vehicle a little more narrow, as well as the fenders fold up into the vehicle, so that way it could have a more narrow silhouette for fitting into helicopters. The suspension, the mode with the suspension down though, is not meant for any fast or long range traveling. That is with the suspension up, as you see here, and so on. So anyway, what you see me doing here is pretty well using this PL as cover for when I need it, and just firing the missiles over this dead PL, which is working out perfectly for me. And the only reason I'm doing this is in case I get spotted. This is a type of vehicle that if you get spotted, you die. It is definitely not the most friendly vehicle for PvE, and honestly, I would not recommend it for that in mind. However, as a PvP-based vehicle, it is actually quite dangerous with its high camouflage rating, fast speed, long-range missiles that can actually shoot over cover, as well as its good camouflage and spotting factor. This vehicle is a dedicated scout, and it works well. It's going to probably be a bit more friendly in, per se, global ops. Don't really know, haven't gotten a chance to try it. And I'm actually out of ammo here, so I use my ammo kit. And this is the kind of vehicle you want to spot the spotters. I mean, that's what it does. It just goes out there, spots things, and not get spotted itself. It does have a fast rate of fire with its javelin. And there we go, got another T-15. However, even with its fast rate of fire, it is not a vehicle that's going to rack up super uber damage. It just doesn't do that. However, it does penetrate with almost every shot. So there we go. There's the W. Let's pull up the results here. And I would get 16,618 damage. I would spot 6 enemy vehicles. Honestly, surprised I didn't spot more. And I destroyed 9. This is kind of a back row vehicle, though. You definitely don't want to be spotted in this vehicle. All in all said and done, I'd actually be 4th in damage, and unfortunately, I did not get the spotting damage that this kind of vehicle should be able to get due to 2 Challenger 2 ATDUs that can just kind of roll out there and soak up all the damage. So they tend to take up all the spotting. All in all, it's actually not a bad spotting vehicle. It's actually a really good one, once again, because of its high camouflage rating and so on and so forth. But so there you go, folks. That is the RST-V Shadow. That's the like I said, the new Tier 10 Battalion contract vehicle. It is an interesting vehicle, but it's not a vehicle for me. I would say if you play a lot of PvP or play a lot of global ops, definitely try to get yourself this vehicle and get with your battalion commander on how to get the Shadow contracts finalized. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you know when new videos like this go live. Thank you very much again for watching, folks. Hopefully you all have yourselves a great week.